First off, thank you for clicking on this episode. This is 13, and what are we talking about? We're going to talk about 90s slang that nobody uses anymore. And lastly, I want to remind you, don't take people for granted, especially the people that love you. Remember, on this podcast, we're here to laugh, educate, motivate, and we're about to do that right now. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Come on in. Welcome to Outside the Box with Mike Terry, podcast where we're here to laugh, educate, motivate. Appreciate everybody joining us for episode 13. 13 of them. 13, man. Excited to be here. What are we talking about on this episode? You guys already know. We're going to talk about some 90s phrases that nobody uses anymore. Most importantly, one I want to bring to attention. I think you probably haven't heard it in a while, which is why I'm bringing it up. The term hunching, right? Hunching. You haven't heard that in a while, but I bet a bunch of memories came to your mindset. I'm pretty sure somebody watching this video was caught hunching or snitched on somebody who they saw hunching, I'm going to tell you a memory that comes to my mind when this term is used. I remember I was about like 7 years old, and kind of, I don't always have super vivid memories from my childhood. I don't know if that has to do with all the times I was dropped on my head when me and my brothers was wrestling or whatnot. But they either happened in between either when or in between I was 7 years old or 11. But point is, 7 years old, right? The story, I'm 7 years old, and there was a girl, in my neighborhood. We was cool friends, so to speak, and we had this thing where we would just I go to her house, we sit down and we watch cartoons, right? And I don't have like a pinpointed image of her in my head. Sorry. I don't have a pinpointed image of her in my head. I just know like she was light skinned, like she was mixed, white and black. She was light skinned, had light brown hair. Her eyes might have been blue. I don't know. And we would sit down, we watch some kind of cartoon, right? And her mom, either her mom or her would bring up some food. And as far as her mom, I just remember her mom was light skinned. She had black hair, and her hair was kind of like draped over her face or something like that. I don't know. Maybe my memory is distorted, but we would have this routine where once again, boom, we would sit down. We go to her house. We sit down, and living room was right here, kitchen was right there, and then her mom's bedroom was right there, right? And we sit there. We watch maybe 1 or 2 episodes of some kind of cartoon. Boom, either her or her mom would get us something to eat, and I don't even remember what we ate. I just remember it kind of like tasted tarty, like a little tarty, and I just remember that at my house we didn't have it, so it tasted good to me. So, we sit there, boom, watch cartoon, get something to eat, and then we go outside and play. Now, 7 years old, gotta remind you. I think at 1 or 2 times, maybe of us getting to know each other or knowing each other, somewhere down the line we kissed on the mouth a couple times. I do remember that. But you kids, you recreate what you see your parents doing, but on this occasion that I'm bringing up, I remember, we went outside to play, and then, like, the next thing I know, ladies and gentlemen, I took it to the back of my dad's station wagon, if I'm being honest. I think it might have started off as us playing hide and go seek. I don't know who else was playing. I really don't. But I remember we was playing hide and go seek, as far as I know. And then, whether it was me who initiated or her, one of us brought it up. You want to do it? Because nobody said, hey, let's have sex, or hey, let's hunch. Nobody used that phrase in that way. You just said, hey, you want to do it? And next thing I know, she was laying on her belly, right? And she, pulled her pants down a little bit and had her butt out, and I just had my junk out, and I was just rubbing it across her butt. Like I didn't know if I was doing it right, but she was moaning, like, fake moaning, of course, and I was fake moaning. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess this is how you do it, and, next thing I know, I looked up, I saw my brother right in the window, just like that, like, oh, damn, like big eyes, saw the whole thing, and he just leaned back and was like, ooh, ooh, mommy, Mike and that girl in there hunching. I was like, nigga, no, don't, yo. I don't even remember getting out the car. I just remember turning to my right, looking at the door, and I was outside trying to chase this nigga down. That's all I remember. As far as the girl, she probably evaporated, nigga. I don't even remember her getting out the car. Not sure if I even heard from her again, but I remember trying to chase this nigga down. He said it like 2 more times. He was in there hunching. My mom came outside. I tried to get in the house. They wore my ass out that day. My mom and my dad. Tag team. Shit was crazy. In hindsight, that was my chance to go. That was my chance to leave. I could have started a whole new life. As soon as he said that, Mike in there hunching, I could have turned to her, well, bitch, I'm heading west. So I don't know what you about to do. Both our lives are fucked up. Like, as soon as I go in that house, so was it worth it? I don't know. I'm still here. So, hunching. I don't know. Is anybody else? Make sure you comment. Write down in the comment section if you were caught hunching or you snitched on somebody who you caught hunching, A couple things just came to my mind I probably shouldn't share, but that's neither here nor there. Now, my nigga, we hear you. I'm sorry. I don't know if y'all can hear this shit in the background. We're sharing a space. There's a recording studio where people make music. And, there's multiple recording studios. Somebody's playing their guitar in the back. But, a time will come. We will have our own space soon. This is all part of the journey. This nigga is doing an album about how his girl left him at midnight. Now, fuck it. Fuck. Let's listen to this. No, I'm just playing. All right. Sorry. All right. Power through it. Hunching. All right. I want to see some comments, people. Comment if you remember a time you was caught hunching. You caught somebody hunching and you told on them, whether it was a brother, a cousin, a sister, or comment when you asked somebody if they wanted to hunch and they said no. All comments are valid. I don't know. I'm very interested to hear it. I do want to move forward, right? Oh no, before I move forward, 90s phrases that people don't use anymore, right? Some more 90s phrases. Do I have any more? No, I don't have any more. That was pretty much it. But I do want to bring up some 90s phrases that at least originated back then, right? But most of them that I saw, that I looked up, people are still using them, right? Words like crib, fly, booyah. Nobody uses booyah anymore. If you do, you probably labeled as corny, Also, it's been a long time since you heard somebody say, talk to the hand because the face ain't listening. Like, nobody uses that anymore. But it originated in the 90s, right? What are some other ones? Dip, hella. People still use that. Bugging, People don't use fat, PHAT, like that anymore. But that's, neither here nor there. Crunk. I haven't heard anybody use that shit since 03. But that's neither. Those are some 90s phrases, right? But most of all, hunching. I want to see some feedback, people. I want to see some feedback. I know y'all niggas can relate to this. And I know not all black people watch this. I know y'all can relate to this too. Hindsight. I'm not going to go too deep into it, but I remember I had a next door neighbor who was white, cool dude. And I think he might have been like 13. And he was telling me and my brothers how his babysitter sucked him off or some shit like that. But I think in hindsight, he might have been lying. If I'm being honest. You know what I mean? Because 13, you like to impress niggas at that point. All right. Moving forward. Now, we motivate. Fucked it up still. Now, we motivate. It it is what it is. I don't care if I point it in the right direction. The effort is what matters. Treat people. I want to let people know. I want to remind you, most importantly, treat people, the people who love you, who truly, truly love you, who are always there for you, who will jump in front of a knife or a gun, who always give you their last. Not that they have to, but because they love you, because they really want to see you do good, do better. Treat them well. I don't know if it's possible to treat somebody perfectly because we're not perfect beings, but treat them well. Treat them with love, compassion, respect, patience. Choose to be patient with those people, And I know, this might sound like common knowledge to anybody listening, but you could have very good people around you. Very, very, very good people around you. But if you have them around you consistently, it's possible that you could take them for granted, So I want to remind you, treat them with love, passion, compassion, respect, appreciation, and be patient. If you always blowing up, you always short fuse with them, take some time away from you. If you start to feel frustration or anger starting to build up, remove yourself from the room or the situation. And decide, and this is actually a strategy that I've heard therapists use. Take a deep breath. You hold the breath, and then you slowly breathe out of your mouth while you're holding the breath. You do that about like 10, 15 minutes. It'll end up slowing down your heart rate, bringing you to a calmer state, and this is something that I've used, for myself, and it's actually been very beneficial, because at the end of the day, man, it makes you better to be around, makes you more tolerable. You don't want to be kind to everybody who don't give a fuck about you, but you mean as hell to the people that do. It's not, I don't think it would make you feel good, This is something that, I've put into practice. I've been practicing. I've been perfecting. I haven't perfected it, but it is a day-by-day improvement, So I just wanted to open that up and remind people. I'm not sitting here judging you, of course. I'm just saying, hey, make sure you take care of this area too, Let me see. Tomorrow is not promised. That's another reason why, Like, for example, I thought my dad would always be in my life, I thought I would, of course, I was blessed to have a dad, a mom and a dad, married to each other, loving on us. And, neither one of them were perfect, but there are superheroes, And I always thought, all right, my dad going to see me graduate. He going to see me have kids. He going to see me get married, all that kind of stuff. At the time, he going to see me go to the league. Now, it didn't happen. My knee blew out. Long story. But back to the serious shit. I never thought that, 2 days before I graduated high school, my dad would pass away. Never thought that. Never thought that. But it's something that happened, and I'm grateful, that my family, we're still holding strong. We're still together. We speak to each other. We still love each other. We verbalize that and show it, because sometimes, you've heard the phrase, the glue to the family, right? The glue that holds the family together. Sometimes when you lose that person, it's possible for your whole family to crumble, whether people disconnect, there's a big argument and everybody disperses and now you're holding grudges. But I give all glory to God on that. The fact that we are all still able to, tolerate each other and love each other, and, still be together, still be a strong family, So treat people well. The people who truly love you, treat them well. You don't want to be living, with the fact that, all right, the last time I saw my loved one, somebody who really could be open up to brothers, sisters, mom, dad, aunts, uncles, grandparents, cousins, friends, that you know exactly who you're thinking about when you hear this message, right? Make sure you treat them well, because you don't want to have to live with the thought that the last thing you said to that person was fuck you, or some kind of word or phrase of unappreciation, So holding grudges they're never really worth it, Never really worth it. Unless a nigga threw your mom down the steps. That's the only That's the only valid. All right, that's a little joke, just to lighten it up. But point is, treat people who truly love you, who truly appreciate you, not for ulterior motives, but because they truly, truly love you. Treat them well. Kindness, patience, compassion, respect. It works out for you in the long run, man. I think it makes you feel better about you. You know, why not? Like, what? Who the fuck gonna argue against this anyway? All right, I meant what I said. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure you like this video. You know what I mean? Hit that thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, C2C Indie Radio, C2C INDIERADIO. And what does C2C stand for? City to city, county to county, coast to coast. I don't know if I said this. I might have said it. Real quick, shout out to Mike for being here, being the C2, the engineer, the MVP, the Swiss Army knife, the producer, being here, throughout the episode, helping out. Shout out to H for being here as well, helping out with the equipment, being the audience, moral support, the whole shebang, man. Solid dude all around. Make sure I said like, subscribe. Make sure you click the excuse me. Let me speak a little bit slower. Make sure you click the notification bell, so you can be notified every time we post a new episode or video. Also, make sure you check out some of the other content that's on C2CND Radio's channel. You know, a lot of talented artists on the channel as well. And lastly, possibly even most importantly, make sure you share this episode to somebody who could use a laugh, or somebody who could use some motivation. And make sure you give yourself a round of applause today. Because at the end of the day, you just stepped outside the box. Peace. I told her, man. Shit, you can keep the baby. That don't mean I'm going to act like it's a father or some shit. Mike, that light still on? The recording light? And then that's going to